Are you authentic? And how authentic are you? Have you ever shown your authentic self to the world and to the people around you? Do you feel confident being authentic around people? In this video, I'm gonna talk about authenticity, and I'm gonna share with you my story with authenticity and why it's important to be authentic in this time or in this world. So basically, authenticity is more about like peeling off the masks. So authenticity is being your true self, is showing your true self without masks, without filters, and without any gold glasses that you wear. Okay, just be you, the way you are, the way you truly are. And this is the beauty of authenticity. Authenticity, it's more about like peeling off the masks in a way that, so you know that growing up we learn to put masks and we hide behind the doors and we hide the authentic self and we locked it in a room inside us, and we don't access that room because we are afraid of show this authenticity or this authentic self. So authenticity is more about showing who you truly are. So for example, if you don't like something, you say it out loud. Hey, I don't like you treating me this way, without masking it, without being a nice girl or a nice boy. Just be blunt, honest with other people and with yourself from the first place. So authenticity is more about like setting boundaries with others. So there are people who are not, I would say they don't serve us in this lifetime, but we sometimes clinch on them or we let them in our life for many reasons. It could be like, for example, a family member, and that's why we let them in our life. But we know that them being in our lives is hurting us at any level, either physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Or even them being in our lives, we don't feel ourselves, we limit ourselves. And so letting them go and setting boundaries with these people will help us to return to ourselves, will help us to return to our true self and to be ourselves without any masks, without any interventions from others. And another thing that we used to put all these masks because we grew up in this society, hypocritic society, in a way that what we feel, it's not what we do. And this contradiction isn't authenticity, it's hypocrisy, if I'm being totally honest. Whatever you feel has to align with whatever you do, and has to align with your behavior. So if you feel, for example, that I don't like this person, then I'm gonna show it. I don't like this person. I will not be around this person because I don't like them. It's not that there is something wrong with this person per se, but it's just I don't like them. So let's normalize being authentic without putting on these masks, because eventually when we put so many masks, we're gonna lose ourselves. This is one. And the second thing is we're gonna hurt ourselves indirectly, by distancing ourselves from our true self, and by hurting ourselves. And this what we can lead us to self-betrayal. I know this is a very big world, but it is. When we put all these masks, we are betraying ourselves because we are not true to ourselves. So I invite you to think of some behaviors that what you are doing is contradicting of what you are feeling or what you are thinking, and to try to align these two, the feeling and the behavior or the actions. This is why authenticity is very important. Authenticity is more about returning to our true self. You know, if you notice the kids, when they don't like a person, they will say it without any regret. They will say, I don't like this person, or I don't like to be treated this way, or I don't like this food, I don't like this toy. They would just say it because this is the nature state. But growing up and with all the societal expectations and the environment that we grow in, the parents, the school, the media, they help us to put all these masks and distance us from our natural state or innate state where we were kids. So the importance of being authentic is to return to our innate state, to our natural state, to our true self, without any filters, without any masks. And this is the beauty of living a life with authenticity, is that you're gonna be yourself. I know people will not like it because they are used to deal with others with these masks, and they don't like people who are connected to themselves, because people like the ones who are in the herd, and they like the ones who they are like them. They like their duplicated copies. But if anyone is differentiating themselves and being themselves, they would fight them, because they fight the change, because this individual is threatening them their peace, because for them being like each other is the familiarity, is the safety net. But individualization is something threatening them. But that doesn't mean that you don't be authentic in contracts. It is an encouragement to be authentic. We need more authentic people. We need more of authentic people rather than duplicated or clones people, right? Because we want to deal with people who are true people from soul to soul level. We don't want to deal with masks. Today I like you, tomorrow I don't like you because you did this and that. No. It's all about being true to yourself and being honest to yourself. And this is the first step to authenticity, is to decide that from now on I want to be true to myself. I'm gonna eat the food that is true to me, not because this person or the media or the whatever told me so. I wanna be the person who I feel confident to be, rather than the one who my parents want me to be, or the society or the social media or whatever. The clothes. This is the simplest thing a person can do to be authentic, is to wear the clothes that make them feel confident, make them feel comfortable, and make them feel themselves. It's not about what the people are telling me to wear, or the social media or whatever. No, it's about what I want to wear. This is the simplest way or simplest form of being authentic, is to choose to speak your voice and to say your opinion, even though if your opinion contradicts others' opinion or threatens them or whatever. It's your opinion, and say it out loud. That will help you to connect with yourself. Eat the food that feels comfortable to you and feel good to your body, not to their body, but to your body specifically. Wear the clothes. Think the way you feel connected to yourself, not the way other people want you to think. This is the simplest form. And if we're gonna get deeper, it's more about like your beliefs, your life's philosophies, right? So being authentic, it's kind of a journey, I would say. And there are many challenges when a person decides to show up authentically. Again, people will threaten them. People will fight them. People will try to pull them to the herd because they don't like the differentiation or individualization. They like to be the same. People like to be in a very similar situations and similar way of thinking, similar way of wearing, similar way of eating, similar way of thinking, whatever. They don't like individualization. And this is one of the challenges the person who decides to be authentic can face, is the being isolated or maybe exiled from the group because this person no longer similar to the group that they grow up in. Okay, so authenticity is something is something very, I would say, valuable. It's something very precious, and not everyone will take this path because it takes lots of risks to individualize them, to be differentiated or unique, or to be yourself. And I'm not saying uniqueness and individualization from the egoic perspective. It's more about like how you be yourself and how you meet your true self. For me personally, I started observing the masks that I put back in, let's say, 2015 to 2016. So I started observing the situations where I am not honest with myself, where I saying yes instead of saying no, or where I'm saying no instead of saying yes. So I started observing this pattern and where I put masks. And in 2020, that's when I started peeling off all these masks and show my authentic self. And since I started observing the pattern, people around me started falling off, and they started, they didn't agree with this decision that I made, because that means that I am going out, or I am leaving the group that I am used to be, and they are losing me, and this terrifies them, because it terrifies people terrifies people from the first place. and they start treating me differently in a way that they try to pull me back, and they try to do things for me in order for me to retain back to the group. But because I am confident and I am convinced that this is what I am meant to do and this is what's true for me, I kept going, and I was the only one in that path, and it was a lonely path, but it was worth it. And in 2020, I started working on these masks, and I realized that most of these masks are not mine. Most of them are my parents, because I observed them, these beliefs, these emotions, and these behaviors as a kid. Because we know when we are kids, we are like a sponge. We observe everything around us. And we grow up as adults. We become that person who observes those beliefs or those emotions and those behaviors. And we continue living with these behaviors and these beliefs until we decide to filter them. And to filter them in a way that we sort them, and which one is helping me and which one is no longer serving me, which one is mine and which one is not mine. I observed from the environment, from the parents, from the school, from the media, and all that stuff. So I started peeling all these masks, and I realized that most of them, they are not mine. I just observed them from the outer environment, and then I started rebuilding all these beliefs. Instead of believing ABC, I believed XYZ. So I started changing my belief system, and then I started changing how do I feel about myself and the environment I am in. And then automatically I started changing my way of wearing clothes, my way of wearing my way of doing my hair, and everything has changed, because this aligns with my true self. The old self was all about like what people want me to be, and the same applies to the jobs. So do you like your job? If you ask yourself, do you like what you are doing? Or do you like the major that you are studying? Or is it because your parents told you to study this and that? Do you really enjoy doing that or studying that? Because life is too short to do something that you are not enjoying doing, right? So reflect on how authentic are you, and which areas you are authentic and which areas you put these masks, and try to peel off these masks by starting with the things that you can control. For example, your clothing, what you wear, okay? So you can control that. The way of speaking, the words that you are choosing, okay? So start with the things that you can control, and then start with the bigger things. So for example, when you feel like that I don't like my job, then start, excuse my cat, and then start looking for jobs that you feel that you enjoy doing, okay? So start by the simple things that you can control, and by the time you're gonna feel like you are more authentic to yourself and more aligned with yourself. And of course, people will fall off from your life. That's something, that's the basics of the change, okay? But then you are giving space to new people who are aligned with you to come into your life. So there is no lose at the end of the day. You are just giving or making space to people who are more aligned with you and the person who you are becoming to come into your life. All right? So authenticity is not for anybody. That's why people want to choose to be authentic, want to choose to be themselves, because it requires lots of risks and lots of changes, inner changes and outer changes. And by watching this video, I trust that you are the ones who are willing to change, and you are willing to or maybe you have already started your this authenticity journey. All right, so I encourage you to continue, and there are many things that can help you to be more connected with yourself. And one of the things is that the healing modalities, in a way that you process the emotions. There is anger around people around you. So instead of lashing out to people, process this anger and go to release its root. Where did it stem from? Okay, or maybe there is fear, there is sadness, and all these feelings. Just learn how to deal with these emotions, and there are so many modalities. And I will link one of the sessions, which called Transform Your Life session, in the description. It helps you a lot with the processing emotions, beliefs, and shifting identities from the identity that is stuck with all these masks, and you can shift it to the authentic identity, to the most truest authentic identity. So all in all, being authentic is a precious thing, is a valuable thing, and not many people will choose to be authentic. And the ones who choose to be authentic, they feel like they feel lonely in this path, because maybe there aren't many people around them who are going through the same journey. And this is why we are here, why I created this community, because I want people who are going through the same journey, or almost the same journey, to be together, so that they will not feel alone. I know that I felt alone most of my self-discovery journey, and I wanted to be with people who are who share the same journey with me. And this is what I am gonna do for other people. I'm gonna create a community to help people to feel that they are not alone, and to help them in their self-discovery journey and their healing journey. So I'm gonna leave it there, and you can check the description. There's a session that I'm gonna leave it there for you to help you in your self-healing journey, and I will see you in the next one.